Hello friends, welcome to my video. Myself P. Revati, Assistant Professor working in the Department of Information Technology, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology. In this video, I am going to discuss the exemplary device that is Raspberry Pi. It is one of the IoT device that is very much popular while developing an IoT application. The Raspberry Pi is very widely used and it is very simple and very easy to use and very easy to develop an IoT applications. This Raspberry Pi is low cost mini computer with the physical size of a credit card. It runs various flavors of Linux and can perform almost all tasks that normal desktop can do. Raspberry Pi will going to support Linux operating systems as it is mini computer, so it can perform almost all the tasks that your normal systems or desktop can do. All these tasks can be performed by this Raspberry Pi. It also allows interfacing sensors and actuators through the general purpose input output pins, that is called the GPIO. So every Raspberry Pi will have some GPIO pins, and those GPIO pins are responsible for connecting various sensors and actuators with your Raspberry Pi. In upcoming slides, we will see the details about all the GPIO pins of Raspberry Pi. Since Raspberry Pi runs Linux operating systems, it supports the Pythons, whatever programmings we are going to do. In Raspberry Pi, all the programming will be run in Pythons because this Raspberry Pi is going to support Linux operating system. So we are going to use Python programming language to develop to write code for your IoT applications. We will see structure of Raspberry Pi. This is the Raspberry Pi structures. The Raspberry Pi is a consists of several components. So first one is a processor and RAM. So based on the ARM processor, the latest version of Raspberry Pi, that is a model B revision 2, comes with a 700 MHz low power ARM 1176JZF processor and 512 MB SD RAM. The next one is USB ports. The USB ports is mainly used for connecting your keyboard and mouse. Some Raspberry Pi will have two USB ports, or some Raspberry Pi will have four USB ports. The next one is HDMI outputs. This port is mainly used for connect the monitors. The HDMI port on Raspberry Pi provides both video and audio outputs. Connect the Raspberry Pi to a monitor by an HDMI cables. For monitors that have a DVI port but no HDMI ports, so use an HDMI to DVI adapters or cable. The next one is a composite video output with RCA jack. It supports both the PAL and NTSC video outputs. And it RCA jack is used to connect old televisions that has an RCA input only. That is connectors is used to carry audio and video signals. The next one, Ethernet port. The Ethernet port is a nothing but the network block. If you wish connect the internet or if you wish to connect the LAN connections, this connectivity to your Raspberry Pi, then you can do with the help of this Ethernet board. It connect the Ethernet cable or USB Wi-Fi adapter to provide the internet connectivity. The next one, audio output. 3.5 mm audio output jack is used for audio output to old televisions along with the RCA jack for video. The audio quality is interfered to the HDMI output. And here the number of general purpose input output pins are used by the Raspberry Pi. So there are the four types of the pins on Raspberry Pi. The true GPIO pins, SPI, that means the serial peripheral interface pins, 12C interface pins, and serial receiver and transmitters pins. So totally, there are the total 40 pins. So those 40 pins is responsible for connecting various sensors and actuators along with the power supply, ground, everything will be available for your sensors and actuators on this particular 40 pins. The next one, display serial interface. DSI. It is used to connect an LCD panel to Raspberry Pi. The next one, the camera serial interface, CSI. It is used to connect a camera module to Raspberry Pi. Then the Raspberry Pi has 5 status LEDs, that is ACT, PWR, FDX, LNX and hundreds. The last one, that is a SD card slot. It required at least an 8 GB SD card for setting up the NOP softwares. And not have a built-in operating systems and storage. So plug in an SD card loaded with a Linux image to an SD card slot. And the power input, it is used to connect the camera module to Raspberry Pi. This is the Raspberry Pi GPIO, that is the general purpose input output pins diagram, 40 pins diagram. Thank you.